Here's a question from section 9.2 in the text where I'm supposed to identify some things about an ellipse. I can't remember what the question said. Just a second. It says for 29, find the vertices foci with the given equation. Okay, so that's what I'm supposed to be doing with this question. So I take a look at it and I know, okay, I have to change it to the right form. So here's one of the forms, here's the other form. Each of them have to equal to 1. In lots of the questions you've done already, the number at the end wasn't 1, but here I already have a 1. And so I guess my question is, well, how do I get a number underneath there? Like I have to have something underneath the 4x squared and the 9y squared equals 1. I have to have something under there. And I guess it's just a little bit of a trick. You want to have something underneath here. 4x squared over something, 9y squared over something is equal to 1. Well, currently, I guess I could write a 1 there, but those 4's shouldn't be there because there's not a 4 in the general equation. So I have to figure out some way of getting rid of that 4. And I guess the trick is multiplying by a 4, and I'll just write this over here, is multiplying by a 4 or dividing by a quarter, are those two the same thing? And I think probably often we said, well, divide by a quarter, change this to times, and find the reciprocal of that. And you'll find that that's the same thing. So just the trick with this question is you'd say, well, it's x squared over, instead of 4 over 1 multiplying by 4 over 1, I divide by 1/4. That's a little bit of a trick. Plus, what'll this one be? Y squared over, use the same kind of logic for this one. Hopefully it came up with 1/9 is equal to 1. Now to determine which of these formulas it is, remember A is always greater than B in ellipses, and so I look to see which of those numbers is bigger. And of course a quarter is larger than 1/9. So then I would say 1/4 is equal to A squared, and if you take the square root of both sides, you get A is equal to a half. B squared then is equal to 1/9, and then B is equal to 1/3. So if you were drawing this, let's put 1 way over there and minus 1 over here, and we'll put a positive 1 there and a minus 1 down here somewhere. So since the larger number is under x squared, that means it's an ellipse that's going to be sideways like that. And so from the middle, and this one's the middle because there's nothing, it's no x minus h, there's no h in this case would be 0, k in this case would be 0, so the center of this ellipse is at the origin. So I need to go right to a half and left to a minus a half, and this would be positive half, and those would be the ends of my vertices. And then I need to go up a third, probably about there, and down a third, probably about there, and those would be the other vertices or the minor axis. And then I could draw myself my ellipse looking something like that. The last thing that I probably should put in is a focus point. They might have asked for that, and I know the focus point in an ellipse is determined using this formula. And so A squared is a quarter, B squared is a ninth, so a quarter minus 1/9, that'd be 9/36 minus 4, so that'd be 5/36, I think. That's what C squared would be. So C would be equal to the square root of that. So it would be the square root of 5 over 6. And so I'd have to come over that much. And I'm not exactly sure what that would be. It'd be less than a half though. So it'd be in here somewhere. You could figure that out on your calculator. It'd be 2 point something. It'd just be somewhere around a third, somewhere in there. But you could figure the exact number out. I guess what you could say for that focus point is that the focus point would be at negative root 5 over 6 and 0. That'd be 1 point. And then the other focus point over here, you'd have to go positive root 5 over 6 and 0. That'd be the other focus point. You could figure out what the decimal is too. Anyway, hopefully that helps with that question. It's just that little trick there to say that 4 over 1 multiplying by 4 over 1 is the same thing as dividing by a quarter.